What is going on? Turn this down a little bit. Commuters, mobile, open mic. My apologies for being late. Like you see the reflector coat on, man. Got the full-time day job, and we just coming out of this storm up in the Northeast, so just took me a while to get back, get on the road, and I had the inclination to not do it. But just as doing something consistently forms a habit of doing it, not doing something consistently forms a habit of not doing it. So I'm gonna still do it, even if it's for 25 minutes, 30 minutes, even if nobody pops in. And the only reason why I got the shades on, you see I'm driving west. So you drive west around this time of day, this time of year, it's very, very, very bright. So I got these shades that my lovely lady got for me. These shades, yep, I did make sure. They're not prescription, but they're definitely like reader's shades, and they're bifocals. I got the little glasses at the bottom, just so I can see good close, and I got the bigger lens, just so I can see far. And I just smudged the hell out of my glasses right now. I gotta clean them off. Hold on, give me 1 second. What happened over the weekend, man? Only thing what's going on in the news? Cartels, man. Mexican cartels. There's U.S. forces and Mexican drug forces, ATF, whatever the hell it is. They took out a major drug cartel leader in Mexico, and as a retaliation, they bombing and blowing up Costco's. What Costco had to do with this, man? You know what I'm saying? What drug informant is inside Costco that done told on the organization to the point where now they blowing up the rotisserie chickens? This don't make no sense. So they're grounding planes, and there's a lot of U.S. citizens that are stranded. Imagine you just on a vacation in Mexico, just one of these countries, Venezuela or something like that. You don't know what's going on. This is before U.S. had beef, and you just happen to fly over there, and then all of a sudden USA got the beef, and they done took out one of their drug leaders, and now you stranded in Mexico. You can't do nothing about it. You got it. They're telling U.S. citizens to hold up and just stay put. That's some scary. That made me not want to go nowhere, man. Nowhere but America. That's it. I'm good with America. They say if you choose to not go anywhere in the world but America and U.S. territories, you could pretty much experience the entire world. Because America overall has everything. I think even just within the mainland, you got waterfalls, you have mountains, we have deserts, we have beaches, we have rivers, we have forests. You can go skiing or you can go surfing. You can pretty much you don't have to go anywhere else that isn't a U.S. territory. You can pretty much experience anything in the U.S. And then if you count territories outside of just the mainland, you got Hawaii, beautiful islands. You got the Caribbean, Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands. I think Guam is owned by the U.S. If you want the skiing and the hiking and all that, you got Alaska. Eventually you're gonna take over Greenland. You know what I'm saying? You got just everything that you think of. You don't necessarily have to leave the United States in order to experience the world. That's all I'm saying. So if you got a felony, you can't get no passport. Don't matter, man. You can still fly within the U.S. territory and still experience an island. You can experience a waterfall with you got 4, 5, 7, 15 felonies. You can, if you living in the U.S., you can still experience something beautiful, even with a tarnished record. Unless you got one of those extreme felonies where you're just relegated to the state that you're in. So just hopefully just be a felon in Florida, be a felon in California, or be a felon in Hawaii. You still enjoying the good life. Now, if you're a felon in like Tennessee or something like that, and like one of those in Oklahoma, then you're hit. Like if you're an extreme felon in Kentucky, then where you can't leave the state, then hopefully they got some lakes or some rivers. You basically got to commit a crime by leaving your state of jurisdiction if you want to go to the beach. That's all. The real beach. I ain't talking about no lake. You got to commit a felony. You have to put your probation at risk, your parole in peril, just to leave the state, just to enjoy an exotic hot dog, and some beach sand. That's what I'm saying. Crazy, man. That storm caught us off guard, though, man. Because the first major storm, they was tracking it for like 2 or 3 weeks. It was impending doom. They was always just warning us, telling us, warning us. So we knew what was going to go on, man. This particular storm, like early last week, they said, yeah, we're going to get a little something. 1 inches, 3 inches over the weekend. Friday, when I was getting off of work, it was like 4:30, 4 o'clock I left. Like, listen, this is going to be a real bad storm, and work is going to be out Monday. I'm like, what? I got to use more vacation time? And it's crazy because, like, why I got to use PTO for something that is an act of God? My boss is like, you can come in if you want to, but we're not putting any of the trucks on the road. It's just going to be cleaning and stuff like that. And I have no problem with doing that. I would have came in. Here's the problem. I live an hour, I do an hour commute to get to work, and my street was not plowed until noon. So unless I got a snowmobile as a vehicle, there was no way I was getting to work. So I had to use more PTO for an act of God. They should have insurance, man, for that, yo. For real. Why am I have to force to use my paid time off for an act of God? They say they want to make sure that the benefits, in order for them to pay my benefits, I have to work 40 hours per week. And so if I miss a day, I got some PTO. I got to use that. But I'm like, I haven't used my benefits yet, though. And I've been there for a year. I think I used it one time for a year. And I'm giving these mofos $300 every single month, and I've only used it one time for the whole year. Y'all can't just let me slide with it. Come on now. I'll take a smaller check. I need this PTO because me and my girl, we got a vacation. We are going to Vegas and Los Angeles in June, and I think I only accrue about 4 to 4.5 hours per month, so that's all of January. You know what I'm saying? No, that's not. No, we're not counting that. So basically, I got all of March, all of April, all of May, and half of June. So that's 4, 8, 12. I think I get 4.5 hours a month. So it's 4, 8, 12 plus half of June. So that's about 14 hours I think I'm going to accrue, right? Here's the problem. I was only at 28 hours PTO. I just used 8. So with that 14, I'm only going to be about 34 hours of paid time off by that time. So there's 6 hours missing. And the tickets is already paid for. So come that vacation time, it's going to be a problem. What's going to happen? Do I get fired from the job because I don't got the PTO to cover my vacation? Or do I cancel the vacation, the money was already paid, and then lose my lady. What's easier to get, a job or a woman? What's the easier? They both hard. They both different. Especially when you older, when you're getting older. You know what I'm saying? The older you get, the harder it is to get, like, you know, especially if you bouncing from job to job, you don't got nothing established. It's hard to get a job, and it's hard to get a decent woman too. The older you get, you know? So I don't know. I think I'll be alright though. I think the solution is probably just to get another job, but then I got to start back over again. I got to do the 90 days again. For like 90 days, I'm not gonna have no insurance. I got to use the Cobra insurance, which is extremely expensive until the other insurance kick in, or I got another job too though. I barely make any money, so maybe I'll just pretend like that's my main job where I'm not making no money on. Now I just hop back on the state for a couple of months till the other thing kick in. Listen, man, kids, keep your life in order. Keep your ducks in a row. You don't want to be 46 years old doing this little ghetto shuffle with insurance and PTO and jobs and all that. You know what I'm saying? Figure out what you want to do early in life, because it's difficult. It's hard. I have not said a joke yet. This is pretty much been a stream of consciousness, but I'm gonna give y'all a couple jokes unless somebody got something to say, you know, because I haven't even really given a joke yet. I've just been kind of rambling about PTO and jobs, and I got on this big ass bright reflective coat. I wonder, do women think I'm sexy when I'm grocery shopping and I got dirty boots on with a dirty coat? They thinking of this, and do they think to themselves, I love a man in uniform? I be feeling handsome, but in reality, they like, that's a fat dirty dude with some dirty boots on and a dirty coat. That's what they really thinking, you know. I don't even know if I got it like that anymore, man. I've been with my lady 18 months. I don't look at no other women, man. I just be tunnel vision. Only women I look at is from .coms. I don't want to say what it is. I'm just say something.com, because I'm not trying to promote anything lascivious. I'm trying to be more of a clean comedian. But the only time I ever put my eyeballs on another woman is on a computer screen that ends with a something.com. You fill in the blanks. That's the only time I just get it out of myself. It's like Blade. You know how Blade was a vampire, but he was he's like half vampire, half human, and he would get the craving and want to sink his teeth into other humans' necks and feed off, because that's how vampires live. They would have to feed off the life force of other human beings in order to stay alive. But Blade still had a human side, so he would take this injection whenever he would get the cravings. That would stave off the cravings, and he would still be a productive hero and member of society, helping people instead of sucking the energy out of people. These .coms stave my cravings. Oh my God! We got an ambulance coming. I'm in the left lane, and the ambulance is coming right behind me, but I think he's going towards the middle, so I should be okay, I am hoping. But anyway, I use those .com websites as my Blade serum whenever I get the temptation to cheat. That's what I do. Oh my God, I gotta cheat. Something.com. Injection in my veins. Injection in my veins. This is terrible, man. Yeah, I'm about to slide over. Yep, I'm about to slide on over. Y'all know what time it is, man. Y'all gonna have to move over, man. You see what's going on. You see the ambulance. You see the ambulance. So yeah, move your goofy ass up. Let me go by. Yes. I'm trying to get over. They ain't letting me. They not letting me. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Now we just gonna follow this ambulance. I just got out of the way. The ambulance is in front, and now the ambulance has become the fullback because everybody got to move their traffic over. So now I'm behind the ambulance, following the ambulance. I got mad. I be having road rage, man. Like, inside the car, I'm mad tough. I'm like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Get out of the way. You know, I hate you. I hate everybody. But when I get out the car, I'm like, hey, how you doing? How you doing? Have a nice day. It's like, in the car, I'm Nino Brown. But when I get out the car, I'm Charlie. Yeah, Charlie Brown. This is the best time for me to let out of my aggression. There's 3 different ways I let out my aggression. When I'm yelling at the steering wheel, when I'm using my serum on those .coms, but when I'm spending alone time with my lady. Those are the only 3 times where I let out aggression. I need some more outlets. Maybe I should play some more sports again, get back into basketball. But I have not played since 2019. Right now I'm 46 years old. And if I tear my ACL right now, while I have a physically demanding full-time day job, that would be the most irresponsible thing ever. And nobody wants to take care of a 46-year-old man with a pot belly that is unaccomplished. Unless your mother or your lady. And even then, that's rolling the dice. What joke was I? What was I telling? Because that ambulance threw me off. Black folks say ambulance. It's ambulance. The proper terminology is ambulance. But for some reason, my people, we just create our own languages. And we know exactly what we're saying amongst each other. That's why we're the coolest people on earth. We'll just take something, you'll give us some scraps, and we'll just flip it. You understand what I'm saying? But every time I'm around white folks, an abundance of white folks, I always feel like I have to pronounce the word ask with 3 syllables. Ask with 3 syllables. If you're a black person around white folks, you must pronounce ask with 3 syllables, man. Or they're going to question your intelligence. And I will be damned if they try to belittle the fact that I graduated from a state college. So while I'm around the white folks, this ask. But when I'm around my homies, it's ask, man. Like, listen, we shortening words. We abbreviating words. We saying ask. We saying ambulance. We saying Happy New Year's. You know? That's what we doing, man. I'm gonna run some of the joints that I was doing last week to see how smooth they come off and effective. I don't trust people that eat pancakes, man. Sorry, run it back. I don't trust people that don't like pancakes. Very, very, very untrustworthy. Because how could you not enjoy the sweet, buttery discs of goodness with the crisp edges? That's like saying, I don't even like orgasm, man. That's crazy. When I was in state college for my thesis paper, I did research on the dictators Joseph Stalin, Genghis Khan, and Adolf Hitler. And the conclusion I came to is the one thing that those 3 individuals had in common is that they did not fancy breakfast pastries. So in the morning time, if I catch you eating wheat toast with a boiled egg and pepper and some black coffee, I know for a fact you have Mein Kampf in your library. You can't be trusted, man. You cannot be trusted. Pancakes are delicious. What is your problem, man? Eat a short stack. Eat a little bit. Or just say you're trying to watch your carbs, but to say that you don't like pancakes, that is weird, man. It is extremely strange. You know what else is kind of strange yet beautiful? Brattleboro, Vermont. The place is gorgeous, man. It's known for cold weather, maple syrup. which tells me that the women are very thick, very hairy. I know they drive Subarus, and flannel is their fashion of preference. Brattleboro, Vermont is beautiful though, man. It's actually gorgeous to see the Appalachian Mountains, evergreens, beautiful architecture and churches. Very Hallmark card Christmas-like, man. You'll never see a thug in Brattleboro, Vermont. You'll never see a thug on a Christmas card. That's the last place I would expect a thuggish person to be. But then as I was saying that, I saw this black gentleman walking down the street with a bucket hat, book bag, and baggy jeans. And I thought to myself, that man's in witness protection. He is not here by choice. It is a court order. He told on everybody, snitched on the entire organization. So we know for a fact the only thing that man is doing is eating pancakes. Doesn't have Mein Kampf in his library, but definitely has a hairy, buxom woman in his bedroom. They both share a Subaru and have matching flannels. That is the rules when you are sentenced to Brattleboro, Vermont as a black man with a bucket hat, book bag, and baggy clothing. I hate telemarketers, man. Because they all seem to have the same accent. They all seem like they're from a call center from Bangladesh, but somehow they rigged the system. And they will call you with a local number. Hello, how are you doing today? Do you have solar panels for your house? But you don't even own a house for some strange reason. In the system, it says you own a home, but you do not. And their accent is terrible. You know the best way to get them off the phone? Speak in a worse accent than them. Like, hello, 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 do you have solar panel? Hello, do you have solar? Hello. You will get them extremely frustrated. They will hang up the phone immediately. But before that, they will curse you out, but not in the right way. Like, you fudge, knuckle-chin, toes, black monkey, forest. I started speaking to them in Hebrew Urdu to make them more frustrated. I'm like, hello, are you speaking English? Are you speaking English? Do you speak? You are a fudge idiot. I'm like, thank you, have a nice day. And I just click on him. I know that's the most frustrated person on earth. I know for a fact he is going to put a bomb to his chest and explode that entire call center in his Bengali hut that he's doing this to fund some type of, I don't know. I'm not going to go too dark. Hey, what's up, Max Dosally? We got to do some work together, Max. We got to do some work. Let me know what's going on out there, man. I need some work. My gigs are dry. I'm getting my elbow room shows together again, but I'm not going to produce them in as high of a frequency that I normally do. I just can't afford it, and I don't have the time. I'm looking for another venue. I'm actively looking for another venue to produce some shows. And Max, you already know you are on the docket for those shows. Everybody go check out Max Dosally, 40-year comedy veteran. Max Dosally started comedy in 1979, the same year that I was born. He came up before Eddie Murphy, you know. He's a beast on the mic. He's a lifer. Not everybody wants the fame and the fortune. Some people just enjoy doing the craft, man. And enjoy making a living doing what they're doing without necessarily having to be stopped every single time that they try to step outside, man. It's a lot of them comedians, full-time comics, they making $250,000 a year. under the radar. You wouldn't even recognize who they are. That's how I'm trying to be. Let me see if I can try to bring them on. Yeah, that's Max. Max is a G. He says I'm trying to add you. I don't know if it's going to work. Try to do it. Well, if I try to add somebody and decline, at least I know that trying to add people works. If anybody got some jokes or some ideas, so hopefully with something to come up soon. I'm just hearing from oh yeah, you're healing it. Yeah, you got that knee replacement, man. How you feeling, man? Hopefully, obviously it was successful because you're still alive. You know, that's weird when people just have the routine surgeries. They going in for like getting a wisdom tooth extracted, and then they just wake up in heaven. Like, whoa, damn! I should have flossed more. Yeah, now I'm in heaven. It's funny when I got my wisdom tooth extracted. That's actually when I found out I had high blood pressure, man. Going to get the wisdom tooth, and they check your blood pressure because before they induce you, your blood pressure has to be at a certain level. If it gets too high, you can go into like cardiac arrest. And I found out I had high blood pressure and was pre-diabetic just for going to the dentist, man. And I was drinking at the time. So it said, what is if you got to lose some weight, your blood pressure got to come down in order to get this procedure. I said, what's the quickest way that you could lose weight? He said, stop drinking. I did. Stop drinking. Dropped the weight. Got that tooth extracted. Started drinking again. Weight went back up. I said, I'm a fat bastard. I'm drinking way too much. This is ridiculous. So, quit again, and I haven't had a drink since June. June 2019 was the last time I touched liquor, man. Now, I was doing real good. I dropped down to like 230 pounds. I was maybe 2 years ago. The lowest weight I think I got down like 229. Then I met my girlfriend. And she likes to eat a lot. You know, she's 4'11" and she weighs 120 pounds. She likes to eat. So naturally, pounds went back. I went up way back up to like almost 260, but I teeter right around 252 right now. I can stand to drop that. It's gonna come down, man. Listen, I want to give myself a goal. I want to lose 25 pounds by June. We're gonna try that. You don't know what that means? We're gonna start doing cocaine. That is the fastest way to lose weight. Cocaine. I will lose my job because the minute that I start doing drugs, I will get random drug tests. That's gonna happen. And I got fired from all my apps. Got fired from Instacart. I got fired from DoorDash. Not allowed to work for Grubhub. I got a CDL. I can literally drive a vehicle that's basically a bomb with dangerous chemicals, but I'm not allowed to drop a cheeseburger at a person's house. I can drop something off that is essentially a bomb, but I can't drop off a cheeseburger at somebody's house. One thing the cheeseburger and the bomb has in common is both produce gas. Yes. Let me see if I could let me run some of my old stuff real quick. Cocaine and speed, he said, yeah. But I'm the person, as soon as I start using illegal drugs, that's when they're going to start randomly testing me. That's what's going to happen. So, not touching it. Not touching no drugs. I'm only going to start doing drugs once I become a full-time comedian. Because there ain't no piss tests in the comedy business. There ain't no drug tests. That's the one thing. Even my comedic inspiration died before his 41st birthday, or 42nd birthday rather, in 2011. I've outlived Patrice O'Neal by 4 years so far, and still have yet to have any type of success. So what the hell does that say about me? What am I doing wrong? Oh, I know what I'm doing wrong. I decided to start comedy at the age of 35, not the age of 19. That's what I'm doing wrong. I can't go back in time. If I could get into a time machine, tell my 18-year-old self, don't do that. Get on a stage. That's what I would do. But no, I had to try to go to college and make mad mistakes and basically just derail my entire life and be a 46-year-old man driving propane, and I'm not even eligible to freaking drop off cheeseburgers at people's houses, but I can drop chemical bombs at garages. Oh, that's what he said. O'Neal was a good friend. That's what. Man, Patrice got so many things in common. You just don't even. I think the world misses him, but his essence is still here. There's a lot of his work that's still online. We all transition into this ethos, into this ether eventually, and then we get recycled. It's like water. Water evaporates into the sky, transforms to rain, falls to the earth. People consume it. People piss it out. Evaporates to the sky, transforms into the rain, falls into the earth. Life forces and humans, we do the same ish over and over. It's the same thing. So I just have an entirely different philosophy, death, transitioning. I just believe something different. Nobody has the proof of what happens on the other side. I mean, people can speculate and they can theorize or whatever, but the one thing we all have in common is, as far as our knowledge of what happens on the other side, none of us knows. So if none of us knows, then that means to me it's pretty much a blank canvas as far as what your opinion is of what happens once we transition to the other side. I just choose to have a positive mindset and outset and mentality as far as what's going to happen. Whenever it is, this physical existence transitions. I don't even like using the word death. Not at all. That I started with so many that are big stars now. There weren't as many comics back then. And yeah, but there's a lot. You know why? And you know why? Max? That's because that's just technology. It's the boom of technology, and a lot of people figured out how to make money on the internet just by going viral with just one gimmick, and everybody's just chasing that gimmick. I always believe the cream rises to the top. You know, and even though you weren't famous, even though you never got famous, and that was by choice, we've had these discussions on our comedy road trip or whatever. Still well respected in the community, and who could say that they did what they wanted for 40 years, doing something that they loved to do, and that thing afforded a living to take care of themselves and to take care of others. Not a lot of there's people that work 40 years at a dead-end job that they hate. You know, you did something for 40 years that you love. So that's winning, in my opinion. That's winning. I didn't make much money in comedy last year. I did the numbers, man. I probably made like, after expenses, and I still got to do 45 years. I made probably $8,000. I didn't make much, but when I look at it, how many people could say they made $8,000 doing something that they love doing? I can't say that. Your job is just to get up every day and give your humorous perspective on things in life. And people paid you $1 for 45 years, man. It's cats that give up left and right. And then, you know, society and the media in general, they try to paint this false picture of what making it is. Oh, if you ain't on Kevin Hart level, you ain't making it. If you ain't on Dave Chappelle level, you ain't making it. Most people ain't on that level. That's the thing they don't tell you. You know? The people that we see that are famous, they represent such a small fraction of individuals and comedians that I know comedians that's making $150,000, $200,000 a year. You wouldn't even know who they were at all. All these cruises, like comedians that do cruises and stuff like that on a cruise line, that's what I'm trying to get into. They can make $250,000 a year and still live a life and go outside and not have to be beholden to fans mobbing them, or still live a decent life. I don't believe the hype of Hollywood. Would I like that life? To be famous and to be a household name? That would be cool, but I don't feel like I'm a failure if I don't reach that. Like, your goal in life, let's use a metaphor. Your goal could, yeah, you saw the world. Exactly. Your goal could be, yo, I wanna touch the stars. But say you never touched the stars. The closest you got was the moon. The closest you got was planets in the solar system. You're still doing something that most people on the planet will never do. You broke the atmosphere. You was on another planet. You didn't reach a star, but you still did something that most people will never do, and you still made the attempt. You was in outer space. You didn't make it to the Andromeda galaxy, but you still made it to the edge of this galaxy, this solar system. Something that nobody, hardly anybody will ever do. People got to put things in perspective. They're always chasing this fictitious, grandiose thing that the media shoves in front of us, saying this is the standard. The standard ain't Dave Chappelle. The standard ain't Kevin Hart. The standard ain't Eddie Murphy, man. The standard is the thing that most comedians that pursue this thing reach. That's just making a living and doing it on your own terms. That's the standard. Anything else that happens after that, that's great. That's wonderful. But the money I probably made like 50 G's doing my day job, right? If I can figure out how to make 50 grand doing stand-up comedy, I made it. That's making it for me. But it can take care of you and your loved ones consistently. You're getting that many calls or that many people responding to your calls. So afford yourself a living, that's making it to me, man. Because when you get in at a certain level, what I'm learning, it just seems like you no longer can speak a certain way, or you have to do certain things that you probably wouldn't do if you weren't in that position. Or because at that point, we're all corporations, but when you're a large corporation, in some ways you become a slave to that. You see it as freedom, but there's certain things Kevin Hart can't say. There's certain people that he can't offend. There's certain things he can't do. But then you got somebody like an Artie Lang, who is his whiskey, his special from 2005 is so fire. I'm surprised I never heard it before, but it's like, he said whatever the hell he want, the craziest ish, because he's not that super famous. You know what I mean? He's not that beholden to so many people, so he could be more out there, like a Joey Diaz or somebody. He could be a little bit more loose, even though Joey Diaz is still kind of famous and he still has a certain level of certain things that even he could have said. So you get on that level when you have that certain level of fame, you have a certain level amount of money that's coming in. I know there's certain sacrifices outside of the art that you got to do in order to get to that point. And I'm not even saying nothing nefarious or nothing crazy. It could just be something as simple as just sacrificing your art. Like there's either a certain character they don't want you to do that you love doing, or it's a certain character that you did, just whatever, it's a throwaway joke. Well, that becomes the only character that they want to see, like a Kramer type character or something like that. Now you're just a slave to that. You're only that. That's why I want Jaleel White. Hard for him to break out of that Urkel role because that's the only thing that they knew him as. That's the only thing they wanted to see out of him. So he was a slave to that. I'm not even taking it on a nefarious level. You could become a prisoner of just one character. That's the only character people want to hear from you. That's the only thing that they appreciate. Whereas if you wasn't on that huge level, if they didn't, if that character didn't do so well, but you was able to do you and be under the radar, you can walk out and just have a decent life and be yourself, and not have to do the dog and pony show every single time. Keep them checks coming in. This got real philosophical. Sometimes it's gonna be jokes. Sometimes it's gonna be philosophy. You know what I mean? Whatever comes into my head, that's what I'm gonna do. Somebody is on a snowbank. Somebody was driving too fast down Day Hill Road. Now they on a snowbank. Don't drive fast in the snow, man. I don't understand what happens with people like when it's bad weather and like the road is messed up. Like something clicks in their brain to drive worse. What is your problem, man? I know I'm getting old because I always buy like freshly baked cakes from the supermarkets. Like before, I would buy like the processed, like the honey buns and you know the packaged apple pies and stuff like that. Now it has to be baked. It has to have a shelf life of 3 days. My body just can't process the food as much as it does. So now I will get me a bundt cake, maple walnut cake. You know what I'm saying? Freshly baked cookies. Now, I don't go to the cookie aisle to get my cookies anymore. No, I am in the baker section getting soft baked oatmeal raisin cookies. That's what I'm doing. You're over 45. Processed is out of the window. The only processed food that you will have is food that takes the process of actually being cooked and baked. I do not remember the last time I ate a Chips Ahoy cookie or an Oreo. I'm eating some type of macadamia walnut coconut amalgamation. It is delicious. It's soft. And I have to cap it off with some almond milk because my body can not only can it not process foods, it cannot process whole milk, but I've been off the whole milk since 2006, man. I'm happy. Life is beautiful. Gotta go, my friend. Stay healthy, strong, and keep being funny. You got it. Thank you. I appreciate that. I think Max pretty much wrapped it up. That is all I had to say. People popped in, popped out. If you got any ideas for jokes, drop them in the comments. Doing this every day, Monday through Friday. My apologies for missing yesterday. It was a snowstorm. I was shoveling and snow blowing and doing all types of stuff around the house by myself for like 4 or 5 hours. So I just didn't have the energy to go online to do the mic. I still listened to some comedy. I still wrote whatever, but I'm here today. This is the commuter's mic. This is not a sit at home mic. This is the commuter's mic. There was no commute yesterday. Just like if an open mic is canceled because there's bad weather. If I'm not commuting, I'm not doing this mic. It is what it is. Y'all gotta just deal with it, man. I'll holler at y'all. Deuces.